What's going on, world? This is your girl, Marky Lemons-Ryhal. And you know what? Today is very exciting because I get to bring my coach on. And I believe there are two places, and he will correct me if I'm incorrect, that a person can go viral today. Those two places are YouTube and TikTok. Now, we met, I want to say 2019 via Facebook because he works with some YouTube celebrities. And so without further waiting, I want to introduce you to Owen Video. You see it down there, Owen Video, who happens to be my YouTube, what do you want to call it? Coach, mentor?
YouTube coach, yeah, YouTube consultant, absolutely.
YouTube coach, YouTube consultant who is changing, let me be clear, is changing what I look like online. What's going on, Owen?
There you go, man. What a great introduction. I need to bottle that up. And every time I go to a conference or whatever, I'm just going to open up that bottle. So that's the introduction I get before coming out on stage. I'm pumped to be here. We've known each other for some time. You sort of put your toe in the water with our program a little bit, got bit by the bug, and now you're fully committed. You're wrapping all that you do into this video YouTube presence that is going to put eyeballs on your content. And that's what we forget about when we think about YouTube. We think about like family vloggers and teenagers making slime in their basement. And that's a reality of what YouTube is, right? But YouTube is the new Netflix. You can go to YouTube and you can get shorts, you can get live streams, you can get regular pre-recorded tutorial videos, weekly episodes. And here's the thing, as a real estate agent, you're creating your show. You are putting your content up there to be consumed by people that are looking for it. And so with YouTube, it's not about, let's say, like 10 million views and dumping paint on your neighbor, right? It's about having a value hook that people want to come back to every Friday to hear from you in a quick weekly message that makes their lives better. So that's the process that we teach, and that's why our clients are so successful.
Well, you know what? One, I was shocked by the amount of real estate professionals you work with, because you work with a lot of real estate professionals, and they're some of the real estate professionals that a lot of other real estate professionals follow, right?
Yeah.
So once I started working with you, I realized, I would say high caliber realtors that you work with. And I realized that my perception of YouTube was incorrect, right? Like, you've gotten me straight on that. And so when you think about somebody working with you and how you're able to help them, can you tell us about one of your real estate successes? What have you been able to do for a licensed real estate professional?
I'll give you two examples, one top level example, and then one more like boots on the ground example. Everybody knows the name Tom Ferry. I have consulted his organization for years. I mean, I'm from LA, Orange County area, so we had some contact there in terms of his local organization. But over the years, even as his staff has sort of, evolved and grown and changed, like there's always been someone at that organization that's always reaching out to us, and we're providing, coaching and that type of advice on. But so everybody knows Tom Ferry, and you guys know Tom Ferry loves video. He's very successful with video. And what I see is agents trying to do that, but getting burned out on the process, because ultimately, like, nobody ever taught you how to film and edit a video, right? Like that's kind of one of those misnomers, is you think you have to do all this work. It really isn't that hard. But two, I'll give you the example of Karen Carr. I think many people have heard her name, and she's moved into real estate coaching now, but she's got two very big channels. She's got one that sells real estate to home buyers and home sellers, real estate transactors that live in a locality that's in the Georgia area. So we coached her on building that channel. We focused on two big things. Number one is the systems that make this scalable, right? How do you put minimal time into it, but get 10,000 views on the back end? Okay. This is what real estate agents are missing, is this, you could be getting 10,000 views. Well, and I don't want a bunch of junk views, whatever. You're saying that because you're not getting views. And so what agents do is they sort of glorify in the 117 views. Oh, I get 170 views, but those are the right views. You're lying to yourself. You're not getting enough views. You could be getting 10,000 views on listing videos, right? But you're not presenting them properly. You're not presenting them properly because you're what we call schlepping them up on YouTube. You film it, you dump it. You film it, you dump it. It's like, no, there's small tweaks in the process that can make this same video hit 10,000 views in your first week. So that's the first thing we teach. And the number two is, how do we get those videos to generate leads for your company, right? Those are the two big metrics that we track. So it isn't just about virality, right? It's like, how well did you do at converting those viewers? And it's only going to be 1%, 3%. But 1% of 10,000 joining your email list or asking for a 15-minute call, that's more than you could probably handle this week. So that's a really powerful skill set to learn, is how do I get a video up on YouTube the right way? And then what do I need to say in that video to get people to actually join my list and become a part of, the business structure? Now, with Karen Carr, one example of what we did for her channel was we started moving away from neighborhood to neighborhood content, right? Like I don't want this whole channel to be about this neighborhood here and that neighborhood here and best bar in this site and best brunches. I believe in that content, but if I see the same content from you all the time, then you're just trying to sell me real estate. And you're not really interested in my real estate journey. And that's what I want you guys to focus on, is that you are reaching people, not real estate transactors. That's your bullseye. That's the target customer. But can you imagine going to play darts and all you do is shoot for the bullseye? If you were to play cricket and shoot only for the bullseye, you would lose the game of cricket. Okay, that's not how the game is played. You got to score 20 3 times. You got to score on the 5 3 times, right? And think about like target markets. You got to hit real estate buyers 3 times. You got to hit real estate sellers 3 times, right? You got to hit people interested in real estate most of the time. That's the dartboard that these people are on. So we moved out of like these neighborhood to neighborhood videos, and we moved into topics that people would be interested on if they're on a real estate journey. Now, some of those had to do with managing your real estate journey, right? Like interest rates. That's a big topic that agents should be talking about right now. But with Karen Carr, we actually went in a slightly different direction. We started talking about real estate topics. And the first thing that we did was we started talking about Grant Cardone. Why? Because people interested in real estate are going to YouTube, they're typing things, and they're going to find other real estate people that are not you. But if you talk about those people, you'll bring them into your channel. And that video, it was a commentary on Grant Cardone. 1,000 views in her first few hours. Best video to ever hit her channel. She fought me every step of the way. She's like, I don't want to do that video. It's not going to bring any buyers. That's like, what you're doing now is not bringing in buyers. So let's do a thing where we're reaching more people. So there's a higher probability there's buyers, sellers, transactors in the content. So we did a follow-up video, and this is pivotal to our program, is we build on the silo strategy, okay? It's the binge watching strategy. You've got to make videos the viewer will binge watch. So it's never one video. It's always 3 videos. We did another video on Ryan Serhant. That video doubled the Grant Cardone video. And then we did another one on Gary Vee. And so you might argue, well, those aren't real estate buyers or transactors. No, yes, they are. They're just in an earlier stage of the game. And so what you're doing is you're generating this audience of thousands, and then you're converting them with very specific videos like live stream real estate market updates, or even like a weekly market update where you're reaching out to people with high level content, and then you're converting them on smaller level content. And that's one press pulse strategy for YouTube, right? That's what we teach people, is like, hey, take this approach and you'll get this result.
When you just said that, I thought about being primed, right? So it brings attention, right? People who didn't even know they wanted to buy or sell, but now you're on the radar in case they decide that they want to buy or sell. So it's kind of like being primed. Now, I'm thinking people already know that you're a straight shooter, right? So imagine me, right? I had to mentally get ready to be coached, right?
Yes. Good.
Because you're not sugarcoating it because I'm Marky. You care less about that, right? Because you need me to take certain actions in order to do certain things. And it's not just you, it's you and your entire team.
Yeah.
So the joy is I always have someone that I can reach out to and talk to. So last week I'm sitting talking with Carlos and we're going over the first video and he's like, talk too long on that slide, right? And I'm like,
Yes.
I'm sitting here, I'm taking a deep breath. I'm like, yep. Oh, you did it again. Talk too long on this slide. Right? And so I'm realizing, Marky, let it go. Get out of your own way. The way that you were doing videos on Instagram or the way that you were doing videos on Facebook Live is not how you create that viral binge watching content that is over on YouTube, and that I had to change and get out of my own way. Here's why, right? When I came back to you, actually, you sent me an email and it was at the right time, right?
Yes.
One, I believe in the power of avatars, right?
Yeah, very good.
Human digital avatars. Last year, that business was a $13 billion industry. It's projected in the next decade, it'll be a $570 billion industry.
Yes.
I want a slice of that industry.
Good.
YouTube is the one thing that I haven't conquered. Okay. And when I say conquer it, this 2023, I spent a lot of money on Facebook ads. You and I had to talk about this. What I know for a fact is when I stop running or spending that ad spend, I am not going to be visible. If I invest some time and energy into YouTube, I will still be present. It will not have run its course, right?
Yeah.
So for a real estate professional, and because you work with so many, can you tell me 3 things you think that we should do different?
Oh, yeah.
With YouTube.
With YouTube.
Just 3 things.
Yeah, 3 things. Number 1, YouTube is your content strategy. And what you do on YouTube then trickles down into social media. And this is a big difference because YouTube is more like Netflix than it is like social media. And the reason why real estate agents and other professionals fail to get real successful on YouTube is because you're treating it like social media. You're treating it in this place of like post and watch and like post and watch. And if Netflix came to you right now and was like, hey, Marky, we want to make a show about your life as a realtor, what should the first episode be? You would not say a home tour of 3124 Lily Avenue. You would not say that. You would say, I want to tell my story of how I got into this. You say, I want to tell my story of how I waited till after my babies were grown. Or I want to tell my story about how my dad lost his home and that encouraged me to be a real estate agent, or how I'm an agent because I love to help people get financially secure from in this world that we live in today. And that's exactly what people want to see on YouTube. See, we're not anti-Facebook ads, right? And we know people that do them and do them well, but they tend to be more e-commerce people and low-ticket people. When I see your real estate ad in my newsfeed, guess what I know? I know that you're going to sell me some type of real estate service. When I see your billboard or whatever I know we make fun of
billboards, cold calling. Yeah.
You know what I really see now is more like, it's more like the neighbor had a real estate agent, some knock on your door now, and it's a little more one-to-one, but it's like, you're just another face in the crowd, right? Like when you treat YouTube like your Netflix and you are getting people to fall in love with you because of who you are in the space, that's the flip. Okay. So that's number 1. Quick example is we have a client in Alabama who is doing real estate videos, but also doing videos on Alabama college football, right? So for example, Nick Saban retired. You don't need to know who that is, but she knows who that is. She made a video at the retirement ceremony, 100,000 views on that video. At the end of it, she goes, I'm Mary Harmon, your favorite Alabama real estate agent. Guys, well, Owen, that's not a real estate, it's not give me buyers.
They love football in Alabama. Roll Tide.
Yeah. Want to bet? You know what I mean? And this is, I feel the problem with some of the real estate agents who are now video marketing agents. Well, if it works so well, why aren't you still an agent? Number one. And that concerns me. It concerns me that agents are signing on to programs that are more about, I hired a team in the Philippines and you'll crank out content and da-da-da-da-da. 3 videos a week that are doing 100 views each is a waste of your time. It is a waste of the people's time. If you could focus on one video a month that gets 40,000 views, you're winning this game. So the second thing I want to share with you is less is more. We don't subscribe to a model of 3 times a week, right? I would rather see you work on one solid video that maybe is your whole month is built around it. And you're telling people video coming out this month, right? And you're building like it's a show, like you're proud of it. Okay. So that's where the Netflix strategy comes into play here. Now, the third thing, okay, is, so number one is treat YouTube like the core of your platform. Okay. And then what happens on Instagram and Facebook is trailers, is pointing back to YouTube, right? Your reels are simply remakes of what you're doing on YouTube. And you're ending your reels on Instagram with see the whole video on YouTube. DM for the link, right? 2 is less is more. Focus on good videos that will get big views. And then 3 is make videos in binge watchable groups. Okay, that nobody gets this. Especially business professionals. We don't only work with real estate agents, but we work with a lot of agents and financial professionals. It's easily 80% of our business. The other 20% might be a mix of coaches, high-level coaches, high-ticket people for sure. Maybe SaaS companies make up the other 20% of our business. So we work with a lot of different industries. And this strategy works across the board. See, what business professionals struggle with is process, right? It took me 20 hours and $300 to get one video on the web. Y'all know getting that drone operator out was a pain in the you-know-what. And then you filmed with a guy and he still hasn't given you the footage yet. Or he gave you the footage and it was cut off. Your head was cut off right here. And he's not answering calls anymore, right? So process is off. Even your drone footage is off, right? Like I could go on for days about how drone footage and drone operators, you don't need that. You don't need a videographer. You don't need someone to follow you around like Gary Vee, right? Like there's procedural things that you're doing wrong. What you need to do is film 3 videos at one time, all on the same subject, like a part 1, a part 2, a part 3, but never call it part 1, part 2, and part 3. YouTube wants you to binge watch, just like Netflix. You know why? Because I don't have time for a 2-hour movie. But 7 episodes of Breaking Bad, well, I got time for that. Slowly. I got time for that. From 8 p.m. to like 11:30. What happened to my night, right? Like you got to do the same thing on YouTube because you start talking about interest rates in single family homes as a topic. You tell them, you give them one nugget and then you move them on to the next one. And that's how you create this binge watching sort of empire. You don't have to say, in the next video, I'm going to cover this, right? You say, look, I made a whole series about interest rates and how they affect how your single family home, how 3 different strategies you can use. Watch that playlist, binge watch on my content. I'll see you there. Like actually say that. So when you sit down to do a video, you're thinking, okay, what's the part 2 and what's the part 3 that I can send people to? And it doesn't have to be specific and exact. You let people know, I made a whole playlist on this. Binge watch it. And then let me know if you have questions. I'm here to support you. All of my contacts in the description box below. Bye. That's how you end your videos. So the silo strategy, the binge watching strategy, create videos in silos, at least 3 at a time. That's what we did for Karen. It was Grant Cardone, Ryan Surratt, and Gary Vee. We made 3 of those in a row, best performing series on the channel. So what are the 3 topics that you want to focus on this month? Like that's how, and then next month, it's next month, right? There's some strategy in picking the content, what content is best, but that's where we come in, like we come in and we walk with you on the YouTube journey where you're like, oh, and I'm filming this Friday. Here's the videos I want to film. And we go, great. Here's how you should open that, or here's how you should title that. And we dial it in with specificity so that you maximize your views when you get it published.
And that you do. And just talking about how can you leverage this on other platforms? If I was to go over to one of your Instagram channels, right? Cancer Fighter, is it Cancer Fighter Owen?
Cancer Fighter Owen on Instagram and YouTube. This is a health and wellness channel that we're building because I have a cancer story in my background. Cancer-free 1 year, praise the Lord, hallelujah, without chemo, without treatment, without pharmaceuticals, all natural. And it was easier than I thought it was going to be. But I'm celebrating 1 year cancer-free, and we are documenting that journey. That's a very passionate, we often use that channel as an example of how the strategies work. So we publish videos. Yes, we have 250,000 on TikTok. We have 71,000 on Instagram.
72,300 today, right?
Ooh.
I just need to just tell you that with videos, I think maybe one of your most popular, 1.4 million views, 576,000 views, 400,000 views. So this content is spilling out, right? Essentially from YouTube into your TikTok and your Instagram strategy.
Yes, and it's all based on really 2 things. Number one is like first of all, serving the cancer patient. We know that that's the audience. And so getting the cancer patient into our email list is the ultimate goal. That breaks down into 2 different types of content for us. Long form on YouTube that covers 4 or 5 pillars of content, right? Diet, exercise, treatments, dealing with stress, and then there's like the my treatment side, like the my story side. Like those are like our 5 silos that we try to get people to binge watch on. So what goes on to our other channels are trailers for that content. So yeah, we're getting, major views. And again, we started this from scratch not even a year. It's been 11 months that this channel's been up. We're already monetized on YouTube. Now, monetization is a milestone on YouTube. It's not I don't care how much AdSense I make, right? It's 15 cents a month. It's getting people on my email list and then moving them into the product sales that happen on that. So that's what we want the real estate agent to think about is like, you're able to track this directly to your leads. And you've got to do that. You've got to be in a place where you're minimizing your production time. So like 5 reels a week. No. It's more like maybe 2 long form videos a month and 5 reels a month or 5 shorts a month. That's an ideal strategy. We call that the 5 and 2 strategy, right? That's where your time should go, is in making those videos, right? And then over time, it's like 2 videos a month, 4 videos the next one. It's like 2. Like in 3 months, you've got 6 long form videos up that are good, that you're proud of, creating binge watching sessions. And you've got shorts that are previewing that content, leading people to your email list, right? And so that's the repurposing strategy, right? Like, I guess I want to go to all the corrections of how people are doing it wrong. You're putting too much energy into all the videos you're creating, right?
I love it. And that's a simple, doable strategy. Like if you can't do that, then you can't commit to content, right? Essentially.
Yeah. And why can't you do it, right? Why can't you do it? Number one, your process is wrong, right? You're thinking, I got to hire a video editor. You're thinking something other than put my iPhone up on a tripod, okay? That's legit what you're thinking. Or you're watching some big 500,000 subscriber channel and you're saying, I can't do what he does. So until I do what he does, I can't do it at all, right? Like you're missing the boat. No one is going to hire you for your production values. They're going to hire you for your personality. and your videos are merely vehicles to show your personality and your expertise and all those things, right? So your process is taking you too long. You don't realize that you could sit down and pound out 3 videos in 90 minutes. You could. That's number one. Number 2 is like, what should be in those videos? What should you make videos about, right? That's where we run into problems as well. As we start thinking about, what does my buyer want? But really, you're looking to attract a buyer a year or 2 before they're a buyer. That's really what you're looking to do. Because that buyer I'm buying today, I'm calling a real estate agent today, you're out of the running, man. You're not going to get called for that. You're not going to like sail in with a video tomorrow and convince this guy not to hire his cousin or the person he's been networking with at the Chamber of Commerce, right? But what you can do is you can create a video today that attracts someone's attention now, and they decide to buy in 3 months because of your videos. Because you convinced them that agent interest rates today it's only going to be a higher mortgage payment. So now's the time, right? That I think is the missing piece of the strategy. When you get your eyes off of, I need a customer today or I'm going to go under, then it frees you up to make a library of videos that when you stop and take a break and turn around, you can say, I am proud of the library of videos that I built on my channel. And those are the types of videos that will generate leads for me.
So I told you I wanted you to coach me, right? So we have dropped 160 episodes of Social Seller Made Simple podcast. I've never added a call to action, but I want to add a call to action for them to go and subscribe to AI for Realpreneurs, our new YouTube channel.
Yeah.
What should my call to action sound like inside of my content to get people to go over to YouTube?
Okay, and we're talking about a video podcast, correct? Like a 30-minute, 60-minute sort of thing.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so first of all, it's my favorite thing to do. YouTube has introduced a podcasting platform. Spotify has introduced a video watching platform, which is why you can listen to Joe Rogan on Spotify or pick up your phone and watch Joe Rogan on Spotify. YouTube's like, you could do that here. So number one is, if you're doing a podcast, I would recommend that you put your podcast on YouTube as a second step after your Spotify and your Apple Podcast deal, your whatever you're using to put it on, Libsyn or whatever. So put your podcast on YouTube. Okay, that's number one. Now, if it's going to be 30 minutes, 60 minutes, your call to action should be in that video twice. And the link to it should be in the description box. There should be no other call to action.
That's it.
Okay? You cannot be like, subscribe and download my guide. No. You got to choose. It's what we call the economics of YouTube, right? You got to, this video, I'm promoting this or this, but not all of it. This is that scarcity mindset. Business owners deal with this a lot. Well, this is going to cost me $300 and I got to talk to this many guys. So I want to make sure I say everything in one video. No, think about one video, one CTA, and really one silo, one CTA. So it's like the same CTA in all 3 videos. I try to offer the same kind of thing and really across my whole family of my library, my whole library of videos. Okay, so you're going to open up the show with a powerful pre-scripted opening. And in this pre-scripted opening, this kind of is an homage to the radio days, right? Of back in the day. People still love this, right? And what we've replaced it with, like, you go to Fiverr and you have some guy make you this 3-minute intro. Welcome to the Real Estate Podcast, where we do. And now today's host, your host is, guys, I've heard it before, right? Start your podcast with this. Welcome back to the show. This is Marky Lemons-Ryhal, your girl in real estate, reminding you that the millions you're looking for is one click away. And you can get started by checking out the links in our description box. We've got a community there that you can build and grow with people that are like you, that think like us, and are dedicated to your success. That's all free. Go check it out in the description box below. But today we want to focus on the core topic, which is XYZ ABC. Okay. So this is on the podcast, guys. You're skimming over it in the beginning. Now you can play with that. Hey, welcome back to the podcast. My name is Marky Lemons-Ryhal. This is the only podcast where you can I think you should say it live every single recording to show that you're different from all the pre-recorded stuff, right? And you could get into your guest a little bit before before we get into it, I want to remind all of you guys that we have a guide in our description box below. It's designed for this person, that person, this person. You could check that out anytime you want by going to our description box or just visit markylemons.ryhal. It's a soft awareness that's mentioned as an afterthought. Okay. Now here's what you're going to do. You're going to take that interview, that podcast past its halfway point, and then you're going to make a more formalized pitch for the lead magnet. And you're going to try to connect it to what you're talking about. That's going to sound something like, now I mentioned this before, which reminds me, that's my favorite term. So you're talking about something, pickles, I don't know, real estate, who cares, right? Oh, that reminds me. If you're an agent that is looking to go to the multi-7-figure level, you're the agent that wants to be the best in the neighborhood, you're the agent that wants to leverage all the new tools, then here's what I want you to do. I want you to click on the link, markylemons.ryhal, that's in the description box of this video. And when you do, you're going to go to a landing page where you can join and become a part of our community. Now, I'm going to give you this guide. Okay, I'm going to give you this guide as well. But what I want you to do is I want you to make today the first day that you're going to decide to become a part of a 7-figure community. By joining our community, you're going to get access to my personal thoughts, my private thoughts, even special events that you don't know about that we don't announce. All of that goes to my email list. So whatever you're doing right now, stop what you're doing, pause this podcast, go to markylemons.ryhal right now and get on my email list. I'm going to send you my guide as well. You'll love that. But I can't wait to stay in touch with you. Go ahead and do that now. Pause for 3 seconds. Okay, welcome back to the show where we're talking with Owen.
Pause for 3 seconds. I got coached up.
Here's the key in that is that it's a soft ask in the beginning. It's a hard ask. And people call me a hard ask all the time. It's a thing that they say. But you're only pitching viewers who have stuck with you. This is key. People are offering their opt-ins too early. Want a Zoom call? Get on a Zoom call. Zoom call here, 15-minute Zoom call. How do you feel when a salesperson is ultra available for you? Do you feel comfortable and turned on by that?
No.
Guarantee you don't. So don't do it to your buyers, right? Hey, get on my email list. Why? Because on my email list, I share MLS listings and private things I'm not allowed to share publicly. I'm bound by law, but on my email list, I can do that. So get on my email list so that we can blah, 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 blah. That's what I want you guys to promoting. Your buyer's guide, yuck, no one cares. That's why I say your guide. A lot of us have guides. Nobody cares. There might be, you have a ChatGPT guide that I love. So there are exceptions. Don't get me wrong. When there's I have a ChatGPT guide too, right? The best guides for you to type in to get a better thumbnail and these kinds of things.
Yeah.
They're time-based. Nobody will care about that in a year. You know what I mean? So I make guides as the market kind of demands, but largely I'm promoting get on the list, become a part of my inner circle. That's what I want people to have. So that's what I want you as real estate agents thinking about is promote the value of being close to you. And then whatever guide you have as an app. We also have a guide that you can look at, some tools we promote. But what I really want you to do is be in my inner circle, be in the community, because we are not just interested in real estate, but we're interested in real estate opportunities. So grab that list and done it.
I love it. So now, what if some of my fellow realtors want to up their YouTube game? How do they work with Owen?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. owenvideo.com. Click on work with us. If you're an agent, you're an investor, you're a mortgage broker, and you feel good on camera, you look at YouTube and you go, I could do that. I need someone to show me how. Or you're crushing reels on Instagram. I want to talk to you. I want to show you how you could be uploading past content onto YouTube and building leads without even having to make a new video. If that's you, I want you to go to owenvideo.com, click on work with us, and fill out the form. It will automatically get you some time on our calendar if you fill out the form. You bail on the form, we don't even, a lot of people want to join, guys. They can't fill out a form. I can't help them.
You can't help them at all. You got to be able to at least fill out a form.
Tell me what's going on. Yeah, we want to know, like, I've made videos before. I haven't made videos before. It's only like 3 questions.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you, owenvideo.com/video. That'll take you to our guide and get you on our email list, right? And once you get the email list, we'll start to kind of send you we do weekly updates. We're telling you what's going on and what's happening in the world of YouTube Shorts and things that you should be aware of as a business owner. It puts you in our community, which, as I mentioned before, is the best place for you to be. We don't run ads. We don't need to. Like, we talk to our email list. So if you want to know about our workshops, if you want to know about maybe now's not the right time, right? Maybe in 3 months, like, get on the email list, become part of our community. That's a secondary option. So owenvideo.com, work with us, or owenvideo.com/video. Stay in touch.
Thank you, Owen. Guys, thank you for tuning in. I want you to hold me accountable because this is the year that I leverage YouTube in order to change my business, and I believe that you can do the same. Thank you for tuning in.